Boi. Esteva. Bă, e surd.
Pe Paul sau Steva? Niciunul?
Steva.
Voi vă auziți și pe stream acum.
Bă, nu se aude. Hai, marș.
Hey babe, o să intri puțin pe stream să-mi zici cum se aude volumul vocii comparativ cu volumul din joc. Să făcut niște modificări. Conectată la Wi-Fi. Flex. Ia.
Ce fac?
Dai la maxim. Pune la ureche. Cum e? Comparativ. E ok?
Asta.
Aude vocea.
A, bă.
Da, bă, nu mai bei. Logodnicu.
Logodnicu.
Logofătul. Ok. Deci ultima dată am terminat Irlanda.
Ce dracu?
Nu am auzit Renata.
Joc a
There wasn't
posibil.
anyone that I needed to call.
Intră tu pe stream și dă follow acolo.
I had messages waiting to be played.
You have 3 messages.
Hey, Collard, it's me, your favorite editor. Guess what?
Cred că vă aud
I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column.
dacă intrați pe stream
Pays
și voi pe
lousy,
voi.
So what's new? If you're interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slonsha. Yep, only here for a day and I'm speaking the lingo like a local.
Mademoiselle Coulard, this is Imelda Carshon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding. Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news.
Yeah?
There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening.
Înțeles
He
aici.
says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl.
Păi îți face gateway-uri multe.
When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late.
Ce zici, babe? Moare Imelda sau nu moare?
Stai că acum.
The intercom system
Yeah?
wasn't working. Bad sign. Somebody had cut the wire.
Dacă moare sau nu Imelda? Eu cred că moare.
Locked? The intercom system wasn't working.
Follow să nu dai, mă, zgârcitule.
Foc de el acela.
Just your average modern art retaining. Fixed tight, presumably to stop critics stealing it. Just your average modern. I unhooked the first wire.
Tu... De ce?
I released the second wire. Even with both wires removed, the statue remained upright.
Metodă de a vă complimenta.
If I could deconstruct this, I could deconstruct anything. That broken window looked like the best way in. The plastic sheet was thick and strong. No.
Nu trebuie ceva cu care să o sparg.
No.
A noi.
Imagine.
Ce e?
Imaginea voastră.
Dați.
Să vă ce țin, mă.
Nu știu.
Cazul?
Trebuie să-și revină.
The window had been repaired with industrial.
Zici că era M. Coco.
No.
Trebuie ceva cu care să sparg asta. Da, nu știu, mai pățește, dar n-am ce să-i fac. Am viteza bună de upload.
Să fie rolul de...
Nu.
E o slow priority, încă un match.
Nu, că doar eu joc.
Eu fac stream la Broken Sword acum.
My God, I'm too late.
Ei,
Voce.
se pare că muri Imelda.
Imelda. Oh no.
Ah.
Nico? Don't worry, you're going to be alright. You know that isn't true. It was Merlin, wasn't it? Dressed as a cavalier. Absurd. You came to warn me, didn't you?
Asta e că aici în Paris sunt niște crime făcute de oameni costumați în clown, în mim, în cavaler, în zână.
Which one is the real Imelda?
Da.
You are
Bine, nu doar în Paris, în toată lumea, știi, și sunt conectate.
Thierry would have been so
Niște conspirații vechi cu templierii și mizerii de alea, știi?
so like him. Something about the eyes. I wish we'd had time to get to know each other. She was gone. She cheated me, lied to me, used me.
Un pic mai tare.
Even in death, Imelda looked the same. Beautiful, inscrutable. The Ice Queen alone in her ice palace. I opened it. Inside was a tiny gold key. I took the key. I had to leave. I knew I could never return. There wasn't anyone. I had no reason to go out.
N-am auzit
In the dim light,
notificarea aia
I caught the
de
reflection of
follower.
something metallic. A small, sinister-looking metal disc had been tucked under my father's box. It was a bug. Oh, chère cousine, you left me a little present. You shouldn't have. You
Acum,
don't scare me.
child violate. Mulțumesc de follow.
Mi-a trimis cerere, n-am
Păi, dar nu
știut
trebuia
că...
să fie banat.
Dacă mi-a trimis, n-am știut cine îi... Acceptat.
Lol.
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Cochon's. I took out the key. I couldn't believe it. Imelda's key opened my father's box.
Wow.
I dreaded what I was going to find
Gata, bă, nu mai
inside.
cântă.
Asta nu.
It was a photograph of Imelda, but why here? In my father's box. I felt as if a black hole had swallowed me up. Imelda and Canchon grinning, while behind them a village was being razed to the ground, its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father. There was a letter. I feared there was
Dar nu mai
even worse to
auzeam
come.
nimic, ca și mă.
Hotel St. George, Algiers, Friday. My darling Thierry, by the time you read this, you'll be safely out of Africa. You need not fear. Pierre and the organization do not know who you are really working for, or about us. Did you think I would betray you? I could not. You wanted me to leave him, but I don't have your courage. I know too much of what has been going on here. They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No, they'll just give you a funny job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die. Imelda, suddenly everything made sense. My father had been working undercover for the government. He was one of the good guys after all. He and Imelda must have fallen in love. She'd found out who he really was, so he had to leave. It had broken her heart, but she had never revealed it to anyone. I knew I couldn't either. Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody. I knew it was George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out, or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in. Hello, George.
So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead,
And you say Pigran has disappeared?
without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Pigran's gem?
The Templars gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod. There's a guy working on a loom. A knight with a crystal ball. The Knight Scroll bears a phrase, "Through my teachings, you will be enlightened." There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
Look there, 2 guys. What are your plans?
I want to find out. All I've got to go by is the... Do you want to look after the...
No, Josh.
Look, Nico, a hand...
Yeah. Why is it that men never really grow up?
What's your problem, sister?
Your pockets stuffed with useless junk like little boys.
You never know when you... I can't sit here all day.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lopinor. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the...
Just take care of yourself.
I so much wanted to talk to George about everything that had happened, but I knew my father's connection to Africa would have to remain a secret forever. His bravery would be known only to the government and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Carchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
Când eu îți dau nicio șansă să-i bagi, nu? Înțeleg că nu.
Ce?
Înțeleg că n-au ce căuta în Ghiozdan, nu?
Fac nici mesaj.
Oh my god. Am făcut.
Ce ai făcut?
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur?
I'm the victim.
I see.
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic. In the Avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
See you later, Sergeant. I felt a little guilty as I tried the door, like I was about to run. I gripped the handle with an involuntary... The door was locked. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plans. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery.
I've never heard anything.
I guess not. So, do I get to see
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Has Marquet been visited by a man?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the Bear. He comes at... Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you...
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
Look at this ID.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they bought... Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's... Nurse Grendel's ward.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous. With a big green... How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name's George Stovard.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment?
I'm looking for a...
In which deep...
He doesn't. He's...
I see. You do realize there are strict police...
This is important.
We make no...
It's a matter of...
The well-known running of this hospital is a matter of... That's why we...
I think I ought to warn you. He's in league with a bunch of guys who want to take over the world.
Nonsense. Besides, Marquet's employers have paid in advance for one of our...
Could you tell me who Marquet's employer...
Certainly not.
Does the name Thomas...
No.
Do you recognize...
No, sir.
Thanks for your help.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through... It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow. The connector in the socket supplied electricity.
Hey now, you can't...
How come?
I'm responsible for the
Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Gosh.
Do you recognize...
No, I don't.
No, but I wondered if you'd seen a stranger flashing it about.
No, sir. But if I had, Mr. Shiny would take care of him.
Have you seen any unsavory characters?
No, sir, I haven't. But what's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no...
It must be a great comfort.
Tipul ăsta vorbește cu aparatul de curățat codele.
Would Mr. Shiny be your pal?
Please, don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you? I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind my back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull-through.
Do you know where I...
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
Do you recognize this man?
You should never, ever play.
I know that.
People get hurt when they end up in hospital. She was
Mamă,
so
cât de
burned up,
retardat
they
e
didn't
ăsta.
know whether to use...
Efectiv nu pot să am o conversație coerentă cu genitorul ăsta.
What do you think of...
Oh, what is it?
A priceless gemstone. Get me into Marquet's ward, and it's yours.
I don't wear jewelry.
If this gem was yours, you'd be able to buy 100 Mr. Shinies.
Don't be silly. There's only one.
N-ai de capul meu cum e. Nu mai vreau să vorbesc cu el.
Take care now.
As I tugged the...
Mr. Shiny.
Okay, what?
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile.
Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified...
You better believe it. What's your impression of...
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
What can you tell?
He's the man in the private room. That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
I'll come back later. Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Do you have any clowns on the...
Why, yes, we do. A professional.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good. Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern.
Do you want...
Device for measuring blood?
Yeah, do you want it back?
No, thank you.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Din vină Stella?
Hi, it's me again.
Clicker.
I'll come back later.
Doctor?
Nu știu, babe, tu încearcă doar să ții lockdown pe cori și să pui ultimata pe mai mult de 2.
You haven't taken my
Sau pe
blood
2.
pressure.
Dar ar trebui să-ți faci zonia și să nu-ți fi făcut căcatul ăla de Magic Pen. Dar știu că mereu îți faci item-ul ăla sau cartea.
You're not doing it
Total
right.
inutile pe suport.
No, you're not. Dr.
Știi, vezi tu, n-ai un salariu, un redemption.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later. Hello.
Oh, no whistling.
Right. Are you having trouble with...
Yes, I am. I don't know what's got into him today. He keeps pulling his plug.
Would you like to...
Not until I've washed, if you don't mind, sir.
Would this tool be...
No, sir. Mr. Shiny... Whatever that means.
See you later.
I have no idea what to do here.
Bun.
Excuse me, sir.
Aha! You must be the...
Yeah.
Well, stop wandering about and... Bunny, come here. This is Benoit. Can I trust you to look at... He is fresh out. It will open his eyes to see a real...
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see...
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Yes, sir.
Game bugged.
So what's your name, kid?
Benoit. They call me Bunny.
Bunny? Jeez.
Oh, I've gotten used to it.
Okay, Benoit. You're gonna help.
Anything you say?
Why did you?
Do you know anything?
No, sir, I don't know much about any.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Do you know the nurse on...
No, monsieur. This is my first... I can't wait to get my hands... I was talking about... I didn't mean I'd get my hand...
Shut up, Benoit.
Okay, sir.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I... Follow me, Benoit.
I'm right.
Hi, it's me again. I'll come. Hey, Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge?
Oh, yes. What do you want?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir.
I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour.
Have you heard of a guy?
He's in quarantine.
Marquet is just...
I wouldn't go in there. He has anthrax.
I have to visit my...
What for?
Routine. I have to check.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's cold.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks. Have you seen any...
Yeah, I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No. This was a tatty old bear.
How's the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty...
Do you recognize them?
No, I have never...
Have you ever heard of the club?
No, it sounds Middle Eastern.
Are you Thomas Merlin?
No.
Then you won't be needing this. Do you recognize...
Don't get...
What does this...
It looks as if it has been used to...
I hate to say it. Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir.
Marquet?
Yes.
You have?
Well... What?
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The lock.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly tell him that
You have it?
Not yet. But I hired a couple of stooges with a...
Would that be Flap and...
You? As for Gloucester, he is gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Mark.
Ah, there you are, sir. I finished with...
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise?
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille. Well,
he's an imposter! The door's locked.
Stand back, man.
Hello, Georges.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus...
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the Hashiashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy he had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again.
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. Do you want this photo?
No, you keep.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one? Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, were you referring to Andre?
I'll let you work it out.
Îmi place povestea de aici.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay.
Trebuia să-i distrugi cu... Cum se numește itemul ăla de la pe tasta 5?
Nu mai trola și tu.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived. Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochmarn tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
But don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point. Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes. It was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes. They gave a new word to our language. Assassini. The assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legend surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassin still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. There are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get...
Intriguing.
There isn't much. Only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript?
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez.
Te trolează pe tine?
How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
The manuscript is being looked after by a...
In Paris?
Yeah. Not...
Well, just give me...
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female?
Yeah, she's a woman. This friend who had...
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 36...
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by.
Does this match...
Alamut is the name of the place where the Hashashin were based.
Where is it?
Somewhere in what used to be called Persia. I'm not too hot on modern geography, I'm afraid. The most recent map I have shows America as an English colony.
What do you make?
Nothing.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone. Where did you get it?
From Professor Peagram's map.
Did Peagram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so. You're not one of those crazies who think the Templars still exist, are you?
Well... Does the guy in this...
No.
Do you recognize?
No.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
No, monsieur.
Okay.
Ah,
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Do you know anything about...
No, sir.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at...
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John D. at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the...
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Wait, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you think? If I studied art and did all
Nu
my
știu ce
own
să
work,
zic, babe.
I
Încearcă
could be a
ăștia.
professor of
Fii
history.
doctor
At your
disrespect.
age? Dream on.
Cum îl cheamă pe ăla?
Can you give me any further information about the tripod?
Certainly, monsieur. It's infamous. That tripod, that belonged to John D.
What's the importance of John D's tripod?
D was the most famous escapologist of the 16th century. The Houdini of his time.
Don't you mean alchemist? Escapologists use ropes, chains, and handcuffs, not tripods.
Well, whatever he was, that is the tripod he used in his experiments.
What kind of experiments did John D perform with his...
Oh, the usual. Didn't you study chemistry at school?
Yeah, but we skipped over thaumatology. Can I take a closer look at the...
What? Get it out. That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
How sophisticated?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet.
Dormită.
The sophistication is in its simplicity.
Do you know anything about medieval man?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar. Though people often... It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park the... They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar. Not like Monsieur
Trolezi,
Lobino.
eu?
I found this...
That means nothing to...
How did you manage to...
I had a military manner, squeaky shoes, and an irrational hatred of children.
Thanks. Hi, Andre.
Hello.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
E dubios.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
I'd like to report...
Yes, monsieur?
I'm out this...
Could you...
One... Their name...
No.
See you later, sir.
Montfaucon.
Excuse me, officer. Shouldn't you be off directing traffic?
You have seen the Parisian traffic?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, What they teach in the police academy these days.
Ce înseamnă schemă
I
piramidală,
read it on
frate.
that board over there.
What do you make of this grease paint stained tissue?
Delightful. Would you like to see some of...
Hell no!
Then, please...
Have you seen...
No.
I believe him to be an
Oh!
Is that all you can say?
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoid, but it didn't seem
Do you know what this...
It's a...
I'll see you...
Oui, monsieur. Hey, leave that.
Sorry, no harm in...
You still...
Ce făcut?
I didn't have time.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
A knight, there in the company of his biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout. A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell. On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack.
Yeah, probably not.
A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. I could see that what had at first seemed to be a fine engraved chasing on the scroll was actually writing. Per disciplinum meum lux videbus. Sounds pretty familiar to me. Per disciplinum... A bit of a stained glass window. Wow! Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess. Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported. I didn't have time. A row of old pews. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decade. All those Parisian derriere, firm buttocks of the flabby flesh of the old. That wasn't a pleasing image. In French, English, and in 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine.
Da.
Hello again.
Hello.
Does this match?
The pattern looks me.
Does this?
Aha! Very sick.
It is?
No.
Trebuie să te trolezi.
Look at this jet.
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving at...
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long. I'll see you around.
Hello, George. Oh, by the way,
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first. Besides, Marquet would have recognized.
He... I'd better get back to the question. Hi, Andre.
Hello. Hey,
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
What story does the...
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No. They're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They're probably...
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Spain. Duse în Spania. Să joc șah singur.
I'm no student of architecture, but the little building looked old. I wondered if it was some sort of summer house. Hi, is this the
Asta nu mă prinde acum.
Who wants to know? I could tell the old coot was going to be trouble. My name's George Stobart. I was wondering whether...
The house is not open to the pub.
This is the De Vasconcelos house.
And what business is that of yours, senor?
Look, all I want is to speak to the head of the household.
There is no household. Only the Countess and myself.
What do you know about the...
Who wants to know?
Are you angling for a bribe or something?
You have nothing that I want, senor.
The guy was obviously protecting the Countess against the whole... Tell me about the Countess de Vasconcelos.
She doesn't receive guests.
You don't even know what I have to talk to her about.
She hasn't won the lottery, has she?
Yeah. That's it. The Countess has won the lottery.
Marvelous. May I see it?
No. I mean, no, I have to deliver it to her in person.
The Countess doesn't do the lottery.
Oh, for crying out loud, why'd you lead me on then?
To amuse myself. To make you look a fool.
Do you know what this is?
See, I have a similar tool for opening culverts.
What do you make of...
So that's it.
If I was hawking medical supplies, I can think of better places to hawk them. Look at this.
It's a tissue with...
Yes. This lab pass?
Not.
Do you recognize... Have you... Do you
No.
See this gem? Men...
Do I look as if I can...
I'll be going.
Adios.
I didn't like the idea of carrying 30 yards of...
My hose has stopped.
Yeah?
See,
Well, I'm sorry to hear it. It's always sad when an old tradition comes to...
Did you have anything?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm mortified.
Very easily, senor. I'm going to find out why and that means going into the house. You are not. Absolutely not. If you do go in the house, I will say... Hey, you. I know you are... All right, you dogs. I'm coming.
Okay.
Madre Dios, who are you?
My name's George Stobart. I'm sorry to burst in like this.
You must leave at once. You're not wanted here.
Please, if you just listen a minute.
Very well. State your business, Senor Stobart.
There's been a series of murders, part of some conspiracy. Anyway, the trail led me here.
Here? There is nothing for the outside world here.
Over 600 years ago there was.
What do you mean?
This whole thing ties in somehow with the Knights Templar.
The Knights Templar are dust.
They had a secret that was so important, they went to a lot of trouble to hide it.
I do not see what this has to do with my family.
Your family had a strong connection with the Templars, right? I believe that they have planted some clues here.
Why should I believe a complete stranger who...
Just let me have a look around. If I find nothing...
You'll be spending the night at the police station. Very well. Please.
I know your family is involved with the Templars, but I don't know how.
You should be asking how my family were involved, Senor Stobart. The Templars ceased to exist centuries ago. And as for the De Vasconcelos, the line dies with me.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay, whatever happened almost 700 years ago. So, if the Templars left any clues, they're going to be in stuff that dates back to the early 14th century.
Obviously.
So, what do you have around here that's early medieval?
Early medieval. Let me think. Well, the house is relatively modern, a scant 3 centuries old. Or, of course, the chess set.
That chess set is over 600 years old?
Indeed it is. Not that I would part with it, of course.
No, I wouldn't either. That's the sort of thing that gets handed down to your children. Sorry.
Its value is less than you might think. The set is not complete. One of the pieces is a modern replacement. As to the original, it was lost a long time ago.
Nobody has any idea where it is?
No. The children had it when they were taken.
Children? What children?
All in good time, Senor Stobart.
May I examine the chess set?
Certainly. But do not move any of the pieces.
Okay, thanks. Close up, the modern piece stood out like a sore thumb. There was something else odd about the set. All of the original pieces had irregular bases.
My lady, I have to warn you, there's a... You! Why, I'll feed you to the dogs.
Lopez, what have I told you about feeding intruders to the dogs?
But, my lady...
Never without my permission. Senor Stobart, if I find that you're wasting my time, you will be fed to the dogs. Now, I want to show you something interesting. Follow me. Lopez, unlock the door. This is the only remaining structure on the estate contemporary with the temple.
Nice. What is it, a summer house?
A mausoleum, Senor Stobart.
Oh.
Come with me.
Hey, senor.
Yeah?
I do not know what you have told my lady to be shown these favors, but I do not trust you.
You've got nothing to... Aren't you coming in?
No, the dead do not interest me. My garden is a living thing. I will be there.
Wow, this is old.
It was constructed in the 13th century as the final resting place for the De Vasconcelos Templars.
It's well maintained.
These are my ancestors, and they deserve respect. I come here at least once a week to say a prayer for them.
Mind if I have a look around?
By all means.
On removing the Bible, I found a pattern on the... Hey! It's a checkerboard! Close up, over a checker... May I ask you something?
You may ask.
You certainly know your history.
What's your opinion of the Templars?
The Templars? They seem no worse than a lot of the knightly orders.
You are mistaken. Compared to the simpering politicians of the Hospitallers or the brutish Teutonics, the Knights Templar were the embodiment of chivalry. The filthy, money-grabbing French king and his pet pope did a great wrong. A bane settled upon my family at the whim of that self-seeking tyrant.
It was all a long time ago.
Some things don't die. Injustice is one of them.
What's the story with the glass chessboard?
Glass chessboard? Oh, the pattern on the lectern, purely decorative, I'm sure.
There are pieces of glass missing from it.
Oh, it has been like that since I was a girl.
The gaps in the glass chessboard look awfully deliberate.
No, it is ridiculous. What possible significance can it have?
It's part of a chessboard, and the gaps are for...
Senor Stobart. You can...
This place was built for the Templars. Your chess set is as old as the Templars. It's kind of suggestive, isn't it? I think this must be it. This is what the manuscript is pointing.
This is extraordinary. Am I to understand that the Templars left a puzzle here? And in all of this time we failed to realize that there was a puzzle?
It was wonderful to watch the Countess change before my eyes.
Right. Well, no time for wallowing in self-pity, eh, Senor Stobart? This mystery has had a good long run, but it ain't here. And now...
All those years of fatalism were falling away.
Lopez! Lopez! Go to the house and get my chess set. Yes! Now, hurry! My...
Don't get too excited. This could be a blind alley.
Oh, I do not believe that for a moment.
It's good to see you happy.
Happy? You know, I think I am.
While we're waiting, I'd really like to know what happened here. I mean, the curse and everything?
It all began at the time of the dissolution of the Templars. Don Carlos had already left their ranks to become a scholar.
Don Carlos, is he the guy who went missing?
Si, but he had reckoned without the local bishop. The bishop envied us our lands and determined to use the papal edict as an excuse to destroy us. Don Carlos was on one of his scholarly journeys when the Inquisition arrived. When Don Carlos returned, it was to find his loyal manservant slain and his children gone.
They took the kids? But why?
Oh, we will never know. The bishop denied all knowledge of the children's disappearance, but witnesses had seen his men kill the servant who had been charged to protect them.
What happened to Don Carlos?
He swore he'd find his children if he had to go to the edge. He put on his armor and took up his sword and shield. He was never seen. Ah, Lopez.
Si, my lady, as you asked.
Por favor, senor.
My lady.
Calm yourself. I believe Senor Stobart's motives are pure.
Very well. My lady seems to...
But you don't.
No, see.
It fits, senor.
Working quickly, I found which pieces went in.
Addio.
With the red pieces in place, the square bases fit onto the white pieces. I just had to figure out where to place them. Bingo. I mean, checkmate.
Senor Stobart, look!
What is that? It's not the Holy Grail.
No, Senor Stobart. It is the communion chalice of the De Vasconcelos, missing for almost 700 years.
Wow. Well, go on.
I cannot.
Go ahead. Live a little.
Are you sure? This is your moment.
Sure, I'm sure. The possibility of death traps only occurred to me a few days later.
So the curse of the De Vasconcelos is lifted?
Oh no, the Countess was thrilled to find the lost chalice, but there's still the riddle of the missing knight.
Well, you can forget about that now and get back to finding the Templar's secret.
Actually, I promised the Countess I'd find Don Carlos.
You what?
I can explain everything.
You have got the odds for a withered old Spanish aristocrat?
The Countess entrusted me with the chalice and the quest for her ancestor's tomb.
You're as crazy as she is. Haven't you got enough problems? Khan and the Templars?
It's all part of the same thing. The chalice is important. The manuscript pointed us to the knight, and I have to find him.
What then?
I don't know. But when the knight and the chalice are reunited, maybe I will. Is there something going on between you and Labano?
What business is it of yours? We agreed all this. The clown, the Templars,
Yeah, but...
So get off my case.
This is the chalice I
still can't figure out why the Countess gave it to you. After losing it for all those years, she simply gave it away to a total stranger? She's one prawn short of a paella.
The Countess is a fine lady. You shouldn't compare her with seafood.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's something going on between you and that Countess.
Are you serious? She's old enough to be my grandmother. I'd better get back to the quest. Hi there, remember me? Who? I'm... so I take... Oh. Excuse me, what do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only the and hang.
Boy, shouldn't you be off?
You.
Yeah?
Which? And... wine.
I'll see you around. Hi, Andre.
Hello.
Thanks for your help.
You're...
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, Monsieur.
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here!
and bring that flashlight. What the? Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Foarte bun.
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor George.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting the...
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Some dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we have the tripod.
Pentru că... Care ce dracu nu faci zone aici? Nu știi să mai apeși un buton în plus?
Just how long have you known Labano?
Andre? We met at college.
yes.
He helped me out when I was a fresher. Showed me around, that sort of thing.
You never told me that before. I thought he was just a working acquaintance.
So he is. I rarely see him these days. You know, he hasn't changed much. A little lesser at the front, perhaps. I'd forgotten how much fun he could be.
Child.
Let's take another look at the manuscript. There's a guy There's a guy working. A knight with a crystal ball. The knight scroll bears a phrase in through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
Look there.
There's a but the reflect. I'd better get.
Montfaucon.
Hey, you with the ball.
Oui?
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this?
It's you. You juggle, that makes...
No! I am a jongleur!
A jongler?
Să mai strâmesc cam o
A
jumătate de oră
jongleur
și
is
vin
an
acum.
artist, a master of the contragravitic aeroballetic in centuries past. The gods of the crowned heads of Europe and the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the...
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders. Plague ravages the land, and the peasants are... Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so. That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
I had no idea what... But this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be? A lot more difficult than I thought. Still, it was my big chance to be derided by...
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I get... Hi again.
Oui?
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Deja sunt la bis.
Ah, the last Grandmaster, Jacques Dumoulin, was burned on an island in the Seine in 1314.
Wow.
No, monsieur.
Unde este televizorul?
On that board over there.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Veterinar.
Excuse me, officer. What do you know about... Have a look at this little...
A tripod.
You mean you don't know...
No, monsieur.
What do you know about...
No, monsieur.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Hello again.
Hello.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No, although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been and not a...
What do you mean?
Who ever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur. You have it.
I'll see you around.
Oui.
Perfect.
Hi again.
Oui?
I'd like to have another try.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No. I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your...
Okay, now for my secret weapon. The juggler was speechless. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury. Hey! You forgot one of your balls! But he didn't hear. Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change. If I wanted to get deeper into these catacombs, I was going to have to get onto that path. If the near edge hadn't crumbled away, I could have... The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long... The inscription was hard to read, but I made out... My medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, "This is where the gallows used to stand." Maybe. The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone. The wall seemed in very poor condition. The inscription was undecipherable. The plaster had... I wondered why. The wall had flaked.
Break it.
It was time for some brutal destruction. Hey, that's hot. I'd poked a hole in an historic... If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. There was some sort of mechanism hidden in with a lever in the middle of it. The hook lay in a bed of chain. Here goes. The secret door had jammed.
In the beginning was the end.
An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness.
In the end will be a beginning.
An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations. Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lochmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results, not petty bickering, not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course, my apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present.
Ha!
But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition the next time that we meet. It will be to become the princess of this world!
Wow! The tripod's feet fitted neatly into the knife. There was a large circle marked out on the floor. Around the circle, I could see words inlaid into the stone. On the circle's circumference were the Templar seal and two Latin phrases, Non omnis moriar and Clarior e tenebris. I shall not die completely, the brighter from the darkness. The light, falling from above, struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays. And each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the left, I could read M-A-R-I-B. Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant. Nico, I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria, but they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved... I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A...
Marib is a village in Syria.
Then the Neo-Templars are ahead of us. Klausner beat me to it.
You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
As I didn't see the point of going all the way over there to get scratched, I stayed where I was. I hadn't come all this... Hey there, young fella. Speak you the English? Speak you the...
Yes, si, and indeed we, and rather better than you by the sound of it. My name is Nijo. Welcome to my grand emporium of quality merchandise.
So, this is your stand?
Oh, yes, sir. Though stand does not begin to do it justice. The finest in this bustling metropolis.
This is a bustling metropolis?
Well, not per se, no.
How much are those books there on the shelf?
Have you any Syrian pounds?
I think I might have a couple of Irish pund.
Then they're too expensive for you, sir.
You speak very good English.
Thank you, sir. I learned from tapes that my uncle procured.
Oh, a language course.
No, sir. Jeeves and Wooster. Gussie, Fink, Noto, Aunt Agatha. What ho?
That's not a very friendly cat, you...
No, sir. It is a very unfriendly cat.
Why do you keep it?
Oh, it's not mine. It just rests where it pleases. And today, as Kipling would say, it is a cat that walks by itself.
Fiercely independent.
And it smells.
Is that your father lurking in the back of the stand?
He is indeed a roaring fellow. I oops his...
You don't sound like you respect him very much.
Don't I? Not only do I respect him, I rather like him. For all his bluster, we get on very well.
Does the word Templar mean anything to you?
Templar? Why, yes, of course.
It does?
Yes. A splendid series of books by Mr. Leslie Chatteris, featuring the roguish Mr. Simon Templar.
Great. That's a
The Saint television program, and a stick man with a...
So all Templar means to you is Roger Moore.
I only watched it for the stick man with the halo. Bing! He was better animated.
So I'm correct in saying that the word...
Well, there was the Order of Knights who were wiped out in an...
That's them. What else do you know?
Just how much information do you think there is on a Trivial Pursuit card?
A what?
From the medieval edition. We had it on the stand. Ask me what a feuter is. Go on. I know all this.
Never mind. Okay, forget about the Templars for a minute. What do you...
Like the Crusaders, they came to the East on an insane and pointless mission. They sacrificed thousands of lives, including their own, for insensate pride. How anyone can find them romantic, confound.
What do you make of this?
Well, beyond the obvious.
This plaster...
Really? You're fond of travelers' tales?
Here, shake hands, Nijo.
I'd rather...
What do you think of this, eh?
Oh, one day, when I am a world-renowned
Are you serious?
in deadly earnest, people will come.
Yes?
Collection. The Rockefellers and the Gettys can keep
My
their
balls.
hordes of so-called fine art. But answer me this. What good is a Picasso, I ask you, if you cannot bounce it off a wall?
You may have a point. Seriously, do you really think this thing's so great?
Take it away.
I'll swap it for something off you.
Due to
I thought you wanted this thing.
I do, sir.
Which in translation meant it's not really my stand, and I'll be in big trouble if I swap anything for something that I want myself.
Alternatively, is there any...
Not at the moment, but I'll bear it in mind. So long, Nijo.
Toodle peep.
The merchant was... Hi, I was wondering whether you could help me.
Why, sure, son. Always got time for a fellow American. The name's Henderson. Dwayne.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Henderson.
Hell, boy. I'm not in the office.
Oh, okay. Dwayne? My name's George Stobart. I saw a medieval picture of a woman, royalty or nobility. She was looking in a... But the reflection was of a man with 3 faces. What do you think of that?
I think you should be in therapy.
Do you think bulls...
Weird question, George. Nope, I don't think they...
Do you mind if I ask you...
Okay, but I might not answer.
Do you know anything about the Templars?
The Knights?
Yep.
Nope.
Well, you knew they were an order of...
What I know and what I say are 2 different things, boy. I haven't lasted as long as I have in this business without knowing that.
In this business?
Sure. The greetings card business.
Oh, please. Do you know the name?
Nope.
Have you talked?
Nijo. Yeah, we've met him. He's a smart kid. Speaks 4 languages, and he's never had a day's fun. He should go far. Kept trying to peddle garbage on us, though.
You're not going to find much worthwhile around here.
I know that. And you would try telling Pearl. She reckons there's antiquities in them door stands.
Does the image of a knight holding a crystal...
Hell no. What would a knight want with a hunk of glass?
I don't know. That's the problem.
What's wrong, boy?
It's not a crystal ball. It all came together. What the conspirators had mentioned losing. It's a lens. You're a long way from home, Dwayne.
Could say the same about
me? Well, I'm just sightseeing, that's all.
Without a camera? Kinda lacks to come all this, not take pictures. Mind if I take a picture of you?
What? Ow!
You don't mind, do you? The folks back home will be...
What exactly?
Didn't I? Yep, Pearl. Yup.
Where is your wife, Dwayne?
Pearl? Oh,
How long have you been...
Hell, must be,
Have you...
Maybe.
I just picked it up some...
Sure. I'm always...
Ow! Damn.
There. Maybe I'll ask around about this one.
Does this match?
Nothing.
Look, I've got some...
Yeah, of course. You've been hanging around with...
Okay, well, I'll...
Count up.
In the still air, the smell... The stand had kebabs dangling from the camp. As a marketing device, it lacked something. Hi, what's your name, sir?
Hello, hello, you buy kebab.
I'd value...
Nah, you buy kebab. Nah.
I'd value...
Nah.
Well...
Most good.
Muruba! Hello, sir!
Does this matchbook mean...
Ah! Give to me!
Many beneficent greetings, my most fortunate...
Huh? Do I know you, mister?
No, no. And again I say, but my friend, do you not see our mutual good?
How frank do you want me to be?
You are a traveler.
Boy, you must be the world's greatest...
No, I am told that is Sherlock Holmes of the big forehead and slipper full of shag. I, as contrast, am world's greatest luxury taxi driver.
I can see where this is going.
I am Ultar, taxi driver and luxury guide.
This I had to hear.
Where does your... Simply mention the name to your obedient servant and we shall fly there.
Oh, well, I don't really want to leave Marib yet, but I'm sure that if I do, you'll be the first to know.
Is good. You know where you want to go, you come to Ultar.
Thanks. See you around, Ultar.
Be happy.
Hi. Nice club you've got here. I was wondering if you could help me. What? I mean, I'm sorry.
No surprise there, but he not speak English.
But he didn't say anything.
He not have tongue.
No tongue?
It was bet.
And he lost.
He won. You should see other chappie. Oh, yes.
Damn, the door... I'm sorry?
He say you not to go in toilet. Reads,
matey?
It lose something in translation.
By staring hard at the notice and squinting, I knew the door was locked.
Hello again.
Praise.
This place is certainly...
Oh, yes, it is most exclusive. The membership can be no more than... Kind sir, what would you guess the population of the village to be?
Gee, I don't know, a couple of thousand?
Then I would estimate the membership to be no more than a couple of thousand.
What do you make of that boy in the market, Nejo?
Nejo? Ha! Ayub's boy is too big for sandals. I speak splendid English, and he laugh. He say, Ultar, you big ox, you split infinitive. I say, I split your head if you stay still long enough. Pretty funny, yes?
Hilarious. You should... What do you know about the
A most miserable man. Ultar say, cheery up, matey mate, it might never happen. And he say, shut up, Ultar.
Fancy that.
Not at all. Arto has face like the drizzle that falls on the midweek afternoon, whatever that is.
Could you tell me what that sign means?
It's a door stay shut until brush come back. Signed, the management.
Oh, well, what does that mean?
Manager buy lovely new toilet brush, leaves it by wash basin for 10 minutes. Come back, it been stolen. Not even out of wrapper. He damn cross. Lock up toilet and say, nobody use fine pristine toilet until brush given back. We say, what we do till then, eh? He say, cross legs and use superior willpower.
And that's what you've been doing?
No. Ultar use bucket.
Have you met the Americans?
Have Ultar met them?
And?
They most ungenerous. Ultar offer to They say, is there anything ancient? Ultar say, they say, no, anything ancient made by men. And Ultar say, have you seen taxi? But they gone.
Do you know anything?
Of course.
Yes?
Great she-bop band of the 60s.
No, that's not...
Who put the bop in the bop, 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 bop?
Yeah, eternal questions. Have you seen...
Oh, most certainly. Was here only yesterday.
Here? Yesterday? My God, he...
Yes, he was asking lot of questions.
What did he ask about?
He asked about American called Stoby.
Stobart?
Yes, Stobart.
The killer knew my name. What else did he ask about?
He asked about German man called Kloben.
I tried to remember the name of the man, the conspiracy. Was his name Klausner?
Sure, that is what Ultar said. I told this man in the picture, Klausner wanted to go up to Bull.
Hold on, he wanted to go...
Bull's Head, big hill, 10 mile out of town. Maybe 60.
When was that?
Oh, maybe a week ago.
What can you tell me about this Bull's Head?
It's most magnificent, lovely views.
How do I get there? No.
You need fine luxury
Woe is me.
And Ultar is...
Gee willikers, lucky old me.
Are you desirous of...
No, I think I'll be hanging around the village.
As you desire, oh mister. Rest assured how...
See you around, Ultar.
Meg.
I figured going out into the country... Hello.
Why, hi there, handsome. What can I do for you?
Hi, my name...
Well, it certainly is a lot. My name's Mrs. Henderson, but you can call me...
Okay, Pearl.
So nice to meet a friendly American face so far from...
Pearl?
Yes, dear?
I was just wondering if...
Why, sure.
Have you ever...
Sounds familiar. I remember the holy something and the holy something else I can't quite recall. I read a little of it.
And?
Seemed like a lot of hooey to me.
I've been talking to your husband.
Oh.
Yeah, he tells me that he runs a greeting card company and you write the poems that go in them.
Oh, yes, indeed. Tell me, George, would you like to hear...
Well, maybe not...
Okay, George, you don't know what...
So, tell...
Me? Wait...
Akron, have you talked...
Oh, he's just so cute, I could die.
He might not think...
I'm looking for something ancient, you know. The poor boy was trying to do his best, but we still haven't found anything.
Do you know anything about medieval weaving?
I do a little needlework, but God.
It's okay. Have you ever heard of a hill called...
No.
I'm not sure.
Sounds awful romantic.
Have you met the tax...
Heavens, yes. What a big man.
But you didn't go for a ride.
Why, George, you're Oh, you mean... No, Dwayne wasn't interested, so it didn't...
You said that your company is based in Akron.
And Dwayne said it's in Cleveland, no doubt.
Well, yes, he did.
Dwayne was in the Marines and Vietnam, you know. Anyway, he got a... Thing is, he gets confused. We moved away from Cleveland 5 years ago.
Oh,
He also gets a little paranoid. Thinks he's...
I'm so sorry, Pearl.
Don't worry yourself, George. We live with it.
Have you seen...
No. A friend...
No. What is this?
Gosh, is this some...
No.
Oh.
I've got to go now.
That's big.
How did this guy make a living selling useless old machine parts in the middle? The stand was hawking ancient... Hi, Nijo.
Hello.
What do you know about that?
Oh.
Is that all?
The chap's a little odd, as it's a funny thing, but I get the impression she's a lot cleverer.
Who's the guy selling the...
Oh, that's Arto.
He doesn't seem very happy.
He never is. Day in, day out, whatever one of those.
Does he speak any English?
Not cogent.
I met an interesting guy,
Ah, a barbaric.
Oh, he's not that bad.
You know how he speaks in pidgin English? That's how he speaks in Arabic, too.
Have you seen...
No, sir, I'm glad to say.
Seriously, do you...
Take it away.
So long, Nijo.
Toodle.
I hadn't come all... Suddenly, the guy was basting the kebabs. Does this mean...
No.
What do you...
You buy kebab.
What do you...
Buy kebab.
Does... No.
Nah.
Well,
most...
Hi, Nijo.
Hello.
Seriously, do you...
Take it away.
Look, this is going to sound a bit strange, but...
What? The brushy...
Yes.
Let me find some dirty postcards for you instead.
Nijo, this is serious. Arto stole that brush he's using from a friend, and I want to get it back.
Perhaps I could help you, old chap. Maybe.
Maybe what?
I do not wish to seem...
Merchant? This isn't Sears and Roebuck.
Well, if you're going to be disagreeable...
No, you're right. What would you like?
I seem to recall that you have something that might alleviate my boredom. A globe of delight, a Rubicon spheroid of heavenly pleasure.
You mean the ball, don't you?
A tiny spherule form that barely spans my hand, yet promises hours of amusement.
If you mean the ball, why don't you just say so?
Can I have the ball back, mister?
All right, here you go.
Thank you, sir. People say bad things about Americans, but you're okay.
What people? What bad things?
Never mind that now. Remember the brush?
Right, yes, the brush.
All you have to do with Arto is be polite. It lightens his day, makes it...
How can I be polite to the guy when I can't speak
Arabic?
That's what I meant.
Simply memorize this phrase. Il ach il kalb.
Il akal kalb.
Close enough. Now, go over to Arto and deliver. He won't be able to do enough.
Really?
Really.
That's not a verb.
No, sir.
Why do you keep it?
Oh, it's not as Kipling.
Fierce.
And it smells.
So long, Nate.
Toodle.
Hello again.
Hello.
Il akul kalb?
Filthy. Bad. I'll kill you.
Whoa. Calm.
What?
Hello again, sir.
Filthy. Bad.
Oh.
Okay.
What the heck did you tell me to...
Patience.
Patience? Patience?
But consider, sir, while the irate Arto...
Hold on. Are you telling me that I've been used as a diversionary tactic?
Your brush, sir.
I can't... Yeah.
They...
Oh.
Nice, thanks.
So long, Nijo.
Toodle pip, sir.
There wasn't much point when I couldn't speak Arabic, and he could... Here's your brush, sir. It wasn't easy getting it back. The manager took the brush from me, gave me the toilet key. What was all that about?
Manager, he say, bah, look at need much cleaning and detergent before go around my, you ben.
He said all that?
Body language account for much, you know. Oh, yes, indeedy.
I hadn't drunk any... Oops. It was the short length of chain I'd taken from the toilet.
It was a length of coarse gray toweling from the toilet at the Club Alamut. Hi, Nijo.
Hello again, sir. And how may I help you this time?
May I have this statuette? It is...
Certainly. And when my father deals with that feline for breaking it, you can have a Davy Crockett hat as well.
So long, Nate.
Toodle.
Hello again, Pearl.
Why,
I've got to go now, Pearl.
it's been a pleasure.
The grease paint had worked magic. Now it looked like aged marble instead of cheap plaster. Hello again, Pearl.
Why, hell...
What do you think of this fine piece of ancient statuary?
Oh, Matt, that's just what I've been looking for.
Would you like it?
Would I ever? I'm not carrying the money, though. If you go and find Dwayne, he'll pay you for it. If he gives you any trouble, just tell him that I want it.
I've got to go now.
It's been...
Hi there, Dwayne.
Hi there, George.
What do you think of this?
Good gravy. Looks old.
Yeah, I had to turn this town upside down.
Boy, your luck's better than ours. Look.
I wouldn't know.
What'll they...
Oh, I couldn't. I'll take...
And here...
Thanks for...
I ought...
Okay, well...
Count on it, George.
Hello again, Ultar.
Praise be.
About Bull's Head...
Are you desirous of seeing this most...
Well, maybe.
A terrific bargain.
50, huh? Okay, it's a deal. Here's the cash.
Ah! Mister, we make with haste.
Where exactly is your taxi? Because the only vehicle I can see around here is an aging army...
Yes?
Ah. Okay, I'll be along... It didn't seem right to take off with the toilet keys, so I left them on the bar. Hello again, Ultar.
His most splendid and adventurous client.
That's your
Oh, yes.
It looks like an...
Bah! You have lost some...
About 4...
There.
Okay.
Refined...
So...
What can I do?
How long is that gonna take?
1 day.
I can't wait that long. We gotta get...
But how?
I'll think of some... Is this any use to you?
My friend...
Ultar took the towel from me, cut it in 2 lengthways, and gave me half back. With his half, he did the kind of fan belt replacement that's normally done with stockings.
Now, if I knot the ends together, so... Serviceable.
Stockings might work on a Bentley, but on a truck, The coarse toweling did the job nicely.
Come along, my friend. You want to see the bull's head? Yes?
I damaged that I could see that crack would make a good anchor point. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. With a flourish, I tied... I could see that crack would make... Well, that looked really safe. I hadn't anticipated going mountaineering when I'd come... I didn't like the idea, but hey, what the heck? No blade took my hand off at the and no scorpion stung me. But there was a metal ring. As I took a firm hold of the... I tried not to think of death trap. And... Whoa! Around the corner, I found the corpse. Oh my God. Large as life. I'd hardly had time to accept the fact when I heard the door mechanism start up again. Oh man, no! The door had slammed shut, trapping me. I had a bad feeling about how Klausner had died. I couldn't think of it. Whatever had been in the bottle had been drunk. Klausner must have died of thirst and dehydration. I searched the court. No portable phone, no demolition charges, no 5... You'd think international conspirators would go around better... I've done more fun things in my life than search, but as my life expectancy wasn't great, I figured I should try every... I cautiously flicked... Hey, what's this? I'd found some kind of lens. A very old lens made from a very hard glass. That settled it. The knight on the manuscript had been holding a lens the whole time. Bullwhips might be handy for... but they're no use when you're... Klausner... There was nothing else in the... I'd searched Klausner once. There was nothing... I couldn't take the inscription with me. All I could do was stare at it and try to memorize it. In accidenta cita est in hora mundi. Okay, that would have to do. A stone head bearing 3 bearded faces. It was a strange image, redolent with antiquity. The mouth's open. It must be Ultar. My God.
Ultar! Don't come in! It's a trap! Stay where you are! You!
Hello, Mr. Stobart. We meet in the most unusual. Please, do not make any sudden moves. I have no desire to maim you.
Did you say maim?
I did. Dead men tell no tales, as you say. And I want to hear everything that you have to.
And what if I don't want to talk?
Then I shall, most regrettably, have to kill you. Rest assured, however, that I am an excellent shot.
Oh, that's good. Believe me, I'm really assured.
It is rather dark in here. I think...
Why should I make myself an easier target?
If I fire at you, Mr. Stobart, I shall hit you even in here. But, unfortunately, my marksmanship will suffer. It could be the difference between hitting you in the leg or the groin.
Boy, it should...
No sudden move. Now then, where shall...
How about being bosom buddies and you put...
Klausner, do you know where he...
Yep, he's dead. Just around the corner of the cave. You want to look?
I'll take your word for it. How did he die?
Starvation or dehydration, but...
He was caught in this trap you were shouting about? Yes, I suspected as much. The Templars were not ones... Was he carrying anything of importance?
No, nothing.
So, why is this location important?
Well, there was something in Latin up on the...
Latin? What did it say?
In accidenta cita est, in ora mundi.
Ah, the words of Caesar.
Well, I know that roughly it means to the west, to the edge of the world. But what the heck is that about?
It tells me where the sword of Baphomet lies. Mr. Stobart, I am sure that you are just what you appear to be. A gifted amateur.
Thanks, I think.
But I can no longer tolerate your interference. There is far more at stake than you realize.
So what are you going to do?
I regret that we must end this here and now. Your only choice now is whether you die like a man or like a dog.
Okay, you're the boss. I'll take my medicine.
You are an honorable man, Mr. Stobart. A rare breed. I should like to shake your hand.
Yeah. Well, what the heck?
Luckily, the canopy on Ultar's truck broke my fall.
Thank goodness for that.
The worst part of the experience was Ultar's...
What about the lens? Is it still in...
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's good to see.
Really?
I wouldn't.
Let's take a night scroll through my teeth. There's a guy There's a woman, but the reflect...
Look at...
I'd better get back to the quest.
Excuse...
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask...
Not at all, monsieur.
Is the right hand...
Oui, monsieur.
How long have you worked...
Hardly work, monsieur. This is... I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6...
I guess you don't know much about the history of this...
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah, oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that. What do you know about the...
You have come to the right place. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a...
Well, the Pope was right behind it.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest.
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
Do you speak Latin?
You ask this of a priest?
Okay. Can you tell me what per disciplinum?
Let me see. That would be, by my teachings, you will see the light. I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove. Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur.
What do you make of this?
It certainly...
About as old as this...
There seems to be...
Yeah? What does it say?
I do not know. It is very... With your permission...
That'd be very good of you.
This shouldn't take very long.
Okay, thanks. Per disciplinum meum lux videbus. Hey! The distortions came sharply into focus. It was a Knight Templar burning at the stake. And below him a date in Roman numerals. A Knight Templar burning at the stake. And a date. Let me see. MCCC That's 1314. Hey, thanks.
It is my pleasure, monsieur.
What was the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that...
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner. That winged horse is quite distinctive.
Did you know that the center window conceals an image of...
The Burning Man?
What, you knew?
That there was a hidden image? No. But the church has a reputation for being haunted. Many times people have claimed to have seen a burning man in the window. But when others they look, there is nothing. Perhaps the light has to be just so for the figure to appear.
Yeah, or maybe you need a special lamp. Do you speak Latin?
You ask this?
Okay.
Let me see. That will...
Yeah. Catch you later.
Oh.
Now that my attention had been... There was no name on it, but the coat of... I'd found the last resting place. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these... Psalms 22:21. Not much to go on, but it must have meant something. If I examined the tomb more closely, there might be other clues to find.
John 4:11. Corinthians 14:5. Psalms 32:7. The numbers referred to a chapter and a verse in the Bible. There were no more references to find, but a series of Roman numerals ran around the plaque. I made a note in case they meant something.
Psalms 32:7, John 4:11, Corinthians 1:4-5, and just one more. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory. The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the de Vasconcelos arms were already on the manuscript. Nope, I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own. Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur. How pleasant to speak to you again.
Boy!
Merci.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.